Hello everyone and welcome back to PAX and Recreation, and today we're going to open a Universes Beyond Magic the Gathering, or Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Assassin's Creed Beyond boosters, which is funny that in the box you don't see Assassin's Creed anywhere because it doesn't fit and you just have the Assassin here, which is kind of weird. You have the name everywhere else but not in the top, which is kind of weird, not gonna lie. So in case you're new to this, the Beyond boosters are certainly a thing. So Beyond boosters are boosters that only contain 7 cards. And the legend says that the reason for that is that they were technically already going to launch... Syndicate, nice. And you can see her on top. And you can see him underneath. So this is nice. Okay, I like this. This is why we stand for inserts and cardboard in this channel, boys. There you go. So the story, in case you're new to this, apparently was that this was to be like epilogue boosters, because Wizards really thought that epilogue boosters were going to be really hot shit, and they were shit, just not hot shit in that sense. And they apparently talked to Ubisoft, which is another spawn of the devil, to be like, yo, we're going to make like 5-card boosters, people are going to buy them, what do you think? Apparently they say yes, and we have this. Apparently they tried to fix it by changing it to 7 and adding some more cards to the set, so that instead of 80 it is a 100-card set, but not much could be done. Like damage was already done. Arbazmir, cool. And there you go. Now, the only redeeming thing from... Find the assassin, okay, cool. The only redeeming thing from these boosters is, and as I said in the previous video, let's be fair here, no one cares about commons and uncommons, so they are going to the point here, and I don't mind that. Now, let's also be fair, who decides if a card is common or uncommon? Wizards. So cards can be, in terms of playability, commons or uncommons, and they will still be, you know, considered whatever Wizards decides to print them as. So, foil, let's go. There's a guaranteed foil in every pack, remember. And then the last card is always like a feature Animus style card, which is cool. Now, you may get a crazy pull from that, not guaranteed by any means, but it is what it is. Because of this distribution, boosters are not only faster to open, but actually they get to the point more. Now, Wizards doesn't understand how life works, and I think that everything is Magic economy, because they're like, yeah, it has less cards, but since the cards that it has are like more valuable cards, because it's like uncommons, and see, like we already have a rare, and that's cool, and then you have a foil, and that's cool, and then you have a feature art card, and it can be foil, like Arno right here from Assassin's Creed Unity. It's like, I guess. So they're like, and that's why the price is not that cheaper. It's like, no, Wizards, you don't get it. If you're giving me less cardboard, and you designed less cards, because sometimes when I say this on the videos, and I say like, well, they print less cardboard, some people comment saying, well, actually, maybe that's the case, but they still had R&D costs because they have to design the cards. So even if they print less cards, the cost for them is more or less the same. It's not the same by any means, but it's similar, because they still had to design the cards and they have to pay those employees. And with that, nice cover of darkness. With that, I agree. Jacob Fry, okay, cool. Because, well, yes, they have to cover the costs. So everyone knows basic economy here, I'm assuming. So that's cool. However, it's not the same to pay for, the design of 250 cards, and then send to print all those cards in 15-card boosters, than it is to pay for 100 cards, of which some of them are just reskins of existing cards in Magic the Gathering, and then print less cards and try to charge the same. That's just very scummy, which kind of, in defense of Wizards, let's just say that they are not trying to be not scammy, because scammy is a strong word. Like, they are not trying to be scummy. Maybe scummy is a better word. But they are actually playing tribute to the franchise, right? Maybe that's what the Wizards is doing. So remember how, like, in Fallout, the mechanics reflect Fallout, and in Warhammer, the mechanics reflect Warhammer, and same with Doctor Who, with time travel and all that. And I always appreciated that, because sometimes it feels that the universes beyond cards play better, or like are better designed or funnier than funnier in the sense of like fun, not funnier in the sense of like joke, than the exclusive Magic the Gathering cards, because they don't care about their lore and so on. But they really try to incorporate whatever franchise it is that they are incorporating into the cards with the gameplay and the visuals. So Assassin's Creed has like the Animus looking cards, and that's great. And it has a lot of mechanics, in the main Assassins at least, that evoke some of the stuff that happens in their games. So that's kind of cool. I want to think that the reason why the Beyond boosters exist, and they are so shitty, and they feel like a scam, is because they are going like fourth wall break, similar to Assassin's Creed, how it is like past and present at the same time. And in this case, they are like just doing a nod to the DLC policies from Ubisoft. So that's kind of my headcanon here, you know what I mean? It's like, well, it's not that they wanted to do the boosters like this. It's more like they were like, you know what? We should do it like a Ubisoft game. So it feels like you're getting a DLC and you have to pay for the gold edition and so on. But jokes aside, it is what it is. As you can see, as we open stuff, some cards are better or more inspired than others. Some other cards, like Mordor, are existing cards. Like, there is nothing crazy there. It's just Assassin's Creed art. And again, to be fair, that happens with the other cards as well. Here, there you go. Excalibur, very crazy card. But at least the value is kind of condensed, right? You have like one foil, one special treatment card. Like, okay, cool, right? And then a token or whatever, an emblem from the Capitoline Triad. I wish we pulled the Capitoline Triad. But maybe we won't. Now, what really pisses me off, you know what grinds my gears? You know what's bullshit, as the angry video game nerd used to say? It's really just the metaverse feeling that I get from Wizards. Let me explain. Whenever Wizards does stuff like this and they go like, oh, well, we can't, but you get the value. That's why the boosters are kind of the same price as the others. I always sit here and go like, sorry, nanny the fuck? Like, it's just cardboard, Wizards. Like, I get it that you have to design them and so on, but it's just cardboard. Like, you can't apply that logic. It doesn't work like that. It's the same logic when they did the Magic 30th anniversary thing. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it. That was just ridiculous. It was cardboard that you couldn't play with. It was proxies, which just makes everything funnier because they hate proxies. So there is that. But for example, with Modern Horizons 3, they said again and again, like, oh, we're not going to print any modern decks because the price wouldn't be affordable for people, because they want we want them to have like an affordable deck, and we can't do that in Modern. So that's why we release only Commander decks, and the Commander decks are expensive as hell. So it's like, sorry, what? I guess that they know that it's more likely that people will buy the Commander decks than it is that they will buy a Modern deck. But the question is there, which is like, Wizards, you and I know why you said that, because it's like, if you do a Modern competitive pre-con, that thing has to be expensive because of the value of the cards in the secondary market. But they can't say that out loud. But the truth is, it shouldn't matter for them because it's just cardboard. Like, printing a bunch of Modern Horizons 3 cards in a pre-con and maybe just printing some reprints because those cards are already designed, so that cost is non-existent, shouldn't be costly for Wizards. Like, you know how very little they pay for printing their cards? Not that much, because they print so many that the cost is reduced. Like, a card doesn't even cost a cent because they print a sheet of cards, not a sheet as in a paper sheet, and then they cut it. So, Leonardo da Vinci, let's go. So the by the way, raise hands. Who hugged Leonardo in Assassin's Creed 2? And who missed the prompt and reloaded the game just to be like, oh no, I have to hug my bro and hug Leonardo? Just raise hands in the comments. Come on. Don't be shy. We all did it. Desmond Miles. So Desmond has a card, so that's great. Human assassin. Well, he became an assassin after all, so that's not wrong, I guess. So that's the whole play here, right? Like, why can't we just, again, this is the battle of capitalism, I guess. It's like that whole thing about, like, do you know that we have light bulbs that don't burn out since forever? Pretty much right away after the light bulb was invented, they were like, well, here's a light bulb that doesn't burn out. And then the light bulb cartel. Ooh, Socrates, there you go. Historic characters for the win. The light bulb cartel, for lack of a better word, was like, you know what? Let's just agree that they all have to burn after 10,000 hours or something. Because otherwise, we can't keep selling light bulbs to people, and we want to keep selling light bulbs forever, right? We can't just like make a light bulb that doesn't burn out. What business is that, right? And with Wizards, they made a game with a format that rotates, which is a standard, because they want to keep selling you cards. But they, by now, have strong proof that they don't need a standard to sell us cards. Look at Commander. Commander doesn't rotate, and we keep buying cards for Commander. And most of the sales that they have and the format that everyone plays is Commander. So, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need the rotation. We still will buy your cards as long as they are cool-looking cards from cool-looking universes or planes or whatever. Like, we will buy the stuff, Wizards. We like the game already. And when you print sets like this, you bring more people into the fun. So I'm not against it. What I am against it, besides power creep, because they need to power creep, otherwise people won't buy the new cards, right? Because you always want the better cards, and there's only so much you can do in Magic the Gathering without it feeling overcrowded, which it kind of already feels. Ooh, Javi the Allfather. Nice. It kind of already feels, because everything generates tokens and stuff like that. Like, we have so many types of token nowadays that it's like, damn. And side games like maps, dungeons, and things. Like, how much stuff can you put into Magic? Actually, infinite stuff can be put into Magic. That's what they are trying to do to keep the game, more horizontally scaling instead of just vertically scaling, because otherwise the game becomes Yu-Gi-Oh! And don't at me, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! But you know what I mean. Power creep is very real, is real in Magic, and they really try to not have that power creep, and yet here we are. Because they want to sell. That's the reason behind it, right? Like, it is what it is. But with sets like this, it's like, Wizards, we're going to buy the cards from you. This only has 100 cards. Each booster has 7 cards. Just make them cheaper, bro. Like, come on, we're still going to buy the cards. The only thing that you achieve by doing this is that only a few idiots like me are going to buy the cards. And then, Eivor, let's go. Eivor Wolfkist. Nice. And then, the people that buy boxes and stuff, they sell the singles. People buy the singles, and, buying singles is good because it pushes people to buy boosters so that there is an economy, a secondary economy. But you don't get any money from the secondary sales. That's why Wizards keeps pumping the prices of collector boosters and stuff like that, because they're like, we need to compensate because the cards in here are going to be so expensive that we need to make some money from it, because that's why they keep doing Secret Lair, because Secret Lair cuts the middleman twice, so they just sell you stuff directly, and now in a limited time. Oh, Basim, let's go. So now it's not like printed to demand, it's just like limited run, so it always sells out. So they always win. The house always wins, and they keep selling you stuff directly. And Secret Lair is mostly bling bling, and I say mostly because I get triggered with stuff like, I don't know, like the Doctor Who one, which I missed, and then I can get the Doctors that I'm missing. I can get the 14 and 15 Doctors because I missed the Secret Lair, and now I have to wait for them to be released, buy the singles, yada. Oh, Black Market Connections, let's go. What a good reprint. But when it's just like, it's cardboard, Wizard, we will buy it from you, just make it more accessible. Like, if you keep making the cards, so like, to contrary to popular opinion, I have no problems with collector boosters. Yes, they are pay to pool, so you pay more for boosters that have better pools, because, and when I say better, is because you get like, everything is foil, you get all the weird treatments, and even the serialized cards and so on are only on those boosters. So I am not against that, because if you want those special treatments, you can pay more. But if you want to play the game, you can just buy the normal boosters. So it's like, it's called self-market selection. Like, if you want bling bling, you pay more for the bling bling. If you don't, and you just want to play, you just buy the cheapest option, because it's just cards, it's just cardboard. Wizards doesn't really do it like that. They are now thinking about the value boosters in Bloomborough, which is like, sorry, what? It is not going to work. What must be done? Cool. But it really just drains the consumer, because now there is another type of booster that has another type of pools that you can do, and it's cheaper, which I don't get the point. I know that, for example, for Assassin's Creed, they have to pay for the IP or something. I don't know how they do their deals. But the truth here is, Wizards, what do you think is going to happen if I want to play Magic the Gathering? I go to the counter, I see a bunch of, Assassin's Creed cards, and I go like, okay, I just really want like 2 of them. Now, I like opening boosters. Again, look at the channel. I like opening boosters, so I sometimes I will be like, oh, let's buy a booster box, because I like opening boosters. But sometimes it's so expensive that I just go like, nah, let's just buy the single. Ooh, Ezio Auditore da Firenze, let's go, baby. The goat of the assassins, one of the most recognizable video game characters, one of the one of the few ones that you see being born and you see die. God damn it, I love Ezio so much. Legendary creature, human assassin for 1 and 1 black is a 3/2. This thing is broken. Just for 1 and 2 being a 3/2 with menace, that's already broken. But it has assassin spells you cast have free running, which, fun fact, if you buy these cards in another language, like Spanish, for example, or Portuguese or French, it actually says parkour. It doesn't say free running, which I think is a shame. It should say just parkour in every language. Because that way, in English, we can do the office joke of just saying parkour, but free running is just meh. So free running for 2 black, and whenever Ezio deals combat damage to a player, you may pay all the colors if that player has 10 or less life. When you do, that player loses the game. So you basically execute them. That's my boy Ezio right there. Man, I love Ezio. And they do too, and then they know we do, because there's a lot of Ezio cards everywhere. Ooh, Mjolnir. Nice. Stormhammer for 4, which actually looks a lot like the one in Thor in God of War Ragnarok. Legendary artifact equipment. When Mjolnir enters the battlefield, attach it to target legendary creature you control. Whenever equipped creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls and put a stun counter on it. Then Mjolnir deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of tapped creatures that opponent controls. Yikes. Equipped 4, not bad. And Basim ibn Ishaq. or Ibn Ishaq. I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but not bad. Pretty cool. So there is that. And then again, you can see I'm being like ranting all the video, and then I see a card that I like, I'm like go like because again, it's a game. So if it's a game, make it, you know, accessible. If there's a card that I want, and I'm gonna be honest with you, we're gonna be real here for a second. Well, I'm always real, but sometimes I am imaginary. But the thing is, I'm gonna be honest here for a second, or super honest. If I see a card that I want from a set, and yes, I buy boosters, you see this channel, we have fun, blah, 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 blah. But if I see one card that I want, what do you think, Wizards, that I'm going to do if the prices are so high for freaking boosters? I'm not going to try my luck. The sensible thing to do is buy singles. I just buy the singles. Now, if you really want to push me to the edge, I can even do you one better or one worse if you're Wizards. If I really want one card or 5 cards from a set like Assassin's Creed, I can just print them. Like, I can just proxy them and play. Yes, of course, if you want to play in an official tournament, you can play with proxies. But then, playing an official tournament is pretty much you're playing with fire or with money in this case, because, you know, like, it's cool. But then again, there is a reason why Commander is the most popular format and people don't mind proxies. Because I just want to play the game. I just need a copy of that card, and I'm not going to brute force my way buying it, so I should buy the single. But hey, here's the hot take. I don't like buying singles, because that's second market, that's second-hand market, and what is Wizards getting from me buying singles? Well, what Wizards gets is that the value of cards is high, and because the value of cards is high, the certain products, like booster boxes and so on, are more expensive. And because those products are more expensive, everything stays expensive. So if I don't buy those singles, the value of those singles will go down, or because it's only going to be bought by competitive players for competition, for tournaments and so on. And the sealed product, which is what I care about, should also go down, because that's what happens with product that has not good cards. So just don't even buy the singles, just print them. See the snake road that this takes us, Wizards, is like, I can just go like, well, I just print the proxies that I want and F it. Like, I don't even need to buy it, like, you know. And this comes from a guy in a channel that you can check my record. I buy a bunch of cards. But if you do the math, if you're very like logic about it, after seeing some stuff like these boosters, which by the way, epic / very poetic, like, that's the conclusion that you reach. Like, why should you even support the second-hand market, the secondary market? Like, don't do it. Like, Ezio Auditore da Firenze, I don't know how much it costs right now. The price isn't on screen when, like, so, but let's say, I think it's more than $20, but I don't know. Let's say this is a $20 card. It's a $20 card. I can go and buy a single for $20, but maybe I don't want to. And if I don't buy that card for $20, then this thing, because it only has like 5 or 10 cards that people actually want, is going to drop in price a lot. And if it drops in price a lot, then it becomes more accessible because it doesn't have an MSRP. Because Wizards doesn't give us an MSRP or RSVP or whatever, you know, recommended price, because they want the speculation. So don't participate in the speculation. Hijack the system. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. Which is, if you know, you know. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time on PAX and Recreation. Like, subscribe, and all those cool things that the cool kids do with a hidden blade. Bye.